business, how tough is it, on days like today, both keeping the focus level and then to say goodbye to guys who are, stand-up human beings?
Yeah, days like today suck. I don't think there's any other way to put it. They're not, you're talking about the young man that Tyus is, what he's done for us in this part of this business, but more than the court, what he was for our locker room and our young guys and his voice and helping young guys learn how to mature and being pros in this business. So, yeah, these days are very tough, and the energy in the building is exactly what it should be. Not happy about, losing a guy, who this young man was and is.
How do you address that with the group? Talk about that.
We talk about it as it's truth. We're adults in this business, and you got to talk about the business side of things, not just basketball, but the human being side of it as well. So you address it as such and speak the truth that things are what they are in this situation, and then you got to move forward to understand that you got to go play a very tough and physical and aggressive Brooklyn team tonight.
The deadline's at 3 o'clock. What are the conversations like with Jeff and his team, and just progressing towards game night tonight?
Right now, it's me focusing and our group focusing on this game tonight. Everything that happens goes a lot of pieces out of our control, and we only can control the things that we can once we touch that court.
With that, you guys get this 4-game homes, and I know it's one game at a time. But how critical is it to kind of build some momentum heading into the All-Star break, especially with the road trip coming after the break and then another 4-game home series?
Philip, you said just coming out of the break, going into the break is big, but it is one game at a time. Knowing we have Brooklyn tonight, and we know how the last time we played them, what it's turned out to be. So our minds have to be right, our physical abilities have to be right. We got to make sure we're sticking to the game plan, and our energy and effort have to be right tonight. Who's a very aggressive, physical Brooklyn team.
You have nights. I mean, it's an 82-game season. You're gonna have bad nights like you had Tuesday night. How is this team responding to that and coming into this game?
Yeah, the interesting part about it is like the last time we played Brooklyn, we were coming off the Washington game where we didn't play our best basketball, and then you respond that way. And then you look across the league, you watch San Antonio play Oklahoma City last night, and then Shea doesn't play, and then the league is that way. Any given night, anything can happen, and you've got to make sure you're prepared every time you step on the floor, because they're good teams in this league. They're great coach teams in this league, and we got to make sure we're locked in with the game plan ready to go.
And knowing that this team is pretty much set down with the NBA trade deadline, how does that help you assess where the team is right now?
Yeah, I really think it's just keep finding the consistency in all that we do, knowing what we're going to continue our habits, our daily habits of what we've been talking about our guys doing, and then just continue to create the mindset of what we need to do on the second half of the season.
When you look at this Nets team, where does it start with them? Obviously, well-coached group.
Jordy does a phenomenal job with that group. I think where it starts is their defense. They do a tremendous job of just keeping you on your toes, guessing whether they're going to trap you, whether they're switching it, whether they're going zone, picking up full court, all those things you have to prepare for. And our coaches did a great job today of putting our guys through that to know exactly what's to be expected. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Des, I imagine today's always one of the tougher days in the business with the NBA trade deadline. How do you deal with that as a professional, and how tough is it to see a guy